it would have broken structure, and then it would have changed
Change character.
character
Yes.
and breaking structure. But when it reaches almost the higher lows, then it just shoots up.
Yes, exactly. Let me just mute
Okay,
everyone.
so
Sorry.
it takes out almost the whole leg of
Yes,
the previous move.
of
Okay,
fractal structure. Yes,
okay,
exactly.
I get you.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. The moment Ali said discount, that was not given and drew the fib, I felt like I suddenly hear French. Something made sense right at that moment. Nice. Okay, good. 100%. Okay, so moving on. Sean, I will show you guys an example, no stress. Okay. So let's say, for example, right, we've got equal lows or equal highs. We know liquidity is resting there. We know liquidity is resting in a trend line. Okay. And number one, we also know liquidity is resting below or above a high and low in the market, every high and low. Okay. So it all really depends on how strong. Okay. I don't know what's happening there. There we go. Okay, so it all really depends on how strong the supply or the demand is, okay? Because if the supply is stronger, price will then start taking out lows, okay? If the demand is stronger, price will now start taking out highs, okay? So I think this makes sense. Let me just move this over. I'll save this as a note. Okay, so we've got equal highs and equal lows. We've got trend line. Oh, and then one thing that I didn't mention was the liquidity wicks. Okay, so when the market creates a wick, okay, like let's say, for example, the market comes and it taps into a zone and all of a sudden has a big reaction. Okay, now oftentimes that candle was bearish all the way down and the market starts to push up and it leaves a big wick. Okay. This is what we call a liquidity wick. Okay, so if the market leaves a big wick like this, why is there liquidity resting in this wick? Who is involved in this wick?
The bulls.
The
The
buyers.
bulls. The buyers, exactly. Okay, exactly. So if the buyers are involved in this wick, the market can come, okay, it's exactly the same like having lows and highs, okay, on a fractal structure. The market can come and pretty much fill this wick, if not even liquidate it, and then start pushing up. And most of the time, it will be with the full body. Okay, so if there is a liquidity wick, just know that there is liquidity resting in that structure. How do you know? I don't know how this person keeps getting unmuted. Okay, there we go. So
okay, sorry.
I just wanted to wrap that up. So if, for example, the market now structurally, the market starts failing highs. Okay, so if the market now starts pushing up at this point and now we start failing highs or we have a change of character, that's how we know the market will come and fill this liquidity wick. So in other words, structure tells us everything. Okay, structure tells us whether the low is coming to get tested. Structure tells us whether the liquidity wick is coming to get tested. Structure tells us everything. Okay, if structure is telling us that the market's failing highs, it's going to come fill it. If the market's still respecting lows, it's not ready to come and fill it. Okay, but this is what we call a liquidity wick. Yes, sorry, you had a question.
Ali.
Yes.
Does the body of the candle matter?
Say that again.
Does the body of the candle that has the wick matter? Does the body of the candle, the size of
it? Well, usually it's going to be quite a big wick. Usually it will be quite a big wick. So if the wick is quite big, then that's when you know there's a lot of liquidity laying in there, because obviously there's a whole lot of buyers. But I will show you an example of it. Don't worry. Okay, cool. No problem. Yes. Sure, go for it. Well, Yeah, I mean, essentially, there's still buyers in that wick. So even if this one closed below, like down, and it was a red candle, there's still buyers involved here. But that's already showing you that it's failing some sort of structure. Does that make sense? Okay, cool, perfect. Okay, so essentially, let's have a look at the charts, right? Okay, so if we have to look, yes?
USDT, there's an example of that on the 5-minute time frame now.
Okay,
think
cool.
so.
Look, USDT. Yeah, okay, so don't get me wrong now. This is also what I was trying to explain to you guys earlier, okay? Is number one, I know that there's liquidity laying below this low. I know that there's liquidity laying below this low. Okay, now you guys know that too, okay? Let me just mute everybody again. Okay, now essentially, can we all see that the market came into discount, okay, of, well, if I use our discount and premium tool, just to make it more simple, we can see the market came into discount of the swing, okay? So the fact that the market liquidated these lows, the next step is now seeing whether the market takes out the previous high, okay? So for right now, the previous high that needed to be taken out is this high. Okay, in order for us to now say, okay, the market is now changing character, it's showing us it's respecting discount, it's showing us it's respecting that like that daily demand zone that we saw on NASDAQ, similar scenario on US30, and we could potentially see the market go up. Okay, this is where the market could, for example, take out this high and then induce sellers and then take out those sellers, okay? However, like we mentioned in the beginning, the market structure is still bearish because we haven't taken out this significant high, okay? So if we look at US30, we haven't taken out that high yet. Sorry, it's struggling to move it. There we go. Okay, we haven't taken out that high yet. Okay, so the market has still broken structure to the downside. So sells are definitely on the table. Okay, however, on a structural base of understanding that the market could have given us a change of character to the downside. If the market gave us a change of character again in discount, okay, like what I just showed you on the 5-minute time frame, we could then see the market induce sellers and take them out. Okay, but the market at this point of time is failing this high, okay? And what is resting below these lows? Liquidity, okay?
Ellie,
So that, yes.
is the reason why you're saying that there's liquidity below those lows? It's because of equal lows.
Correct, yes,
thank you.
correct, okay. Now we're gonna drop down even smaller time frame. Okay, and we're going to look at the smaller time frame. Now, on the smaller time frame, on the 1-minute structure, would you all agree with me that when the market took out this high, okay, let me just see this word there. Yeah, when the market took out this high, we had a change of character. Okay, so now that we had that change of character, where was their liquidity laying? Liquidity, liquidity. And even if it doesn't have enough liquidity, more liquidity. Okay, so there's liquidity laying all below those lows. Now, if the market doesn't have enough momentum to break this high and it still has an intention of taking out that high, it can liquidate those lows and then still push up and take out that high. Are you with me, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Okay. This is golden nuggets that I'm giving you guys. Golden nuggets here tonight. Why did you pull the fib from that high and not the high that went higher? 43. That was quite a few minutes ago. CB, oh, it was Charlotte. I'll check now, Charlotte. Because discount wasn't given. Oh yeah, because discount wasn't given in that swing zone. Exactly. Okay, cool. So in other words, can we see that on the 1 minute time frame, right now, this is your swing structure? Would you agree?
Sorry, there's someone who wants to be let in. I think Lisiva.
Check. I've got everyone in. Dejum Mapili, sorry, I can't pronounce your name if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly, but please can you just check that your mic stays muted? It keeps unmuting itself for some reason. Okay, cool. So do you all agree with me that that is our 1 minute swing structure? Do you all understand why? If you
Yes.
don't, guys, ask, because
Yes.
otherwise you're with me. Okay, cool. So we know that that's our 1 minute swing structure. Yes?
So the liquidity grab is what happened today when you remember when I showed you my chart and I said my bias was bearish, but now I was not sure why did the market turn where it turned.
Yes. Were
Because
you
it
on
broke.
USDT or NASDAQ? Was it NASDAQ?
Yeah, it was Nasdaq because it went
Okay.
up, and then it broke structure to the downside. But we're expecting it to turn on premium, but it killed everything on premium, went up and then came down again.
Let's
Is that
look at
what
that.
happened?
Most likely, we'll just have a look at it quickly here. Let's just remove that. So just remind me, you were trying to sell here, hey?
We're on 4 hours, I think, because you see how where it turned, like it didn't take out the previous high because it's creating. Yeah, it didn't take out that high,
Yes,
but
it
it
did.
turned there.
Yes. So where were you trying to sell? Just remind me. I'm sorry, I looked at so many
So
charts.
trying to sell on the 50% of the previous high. So which means my fib was from the significant high to the significant low.
Yeah, so you were trying to sell around here.
Yeah. But now
So
it
remember,
went up.
yeah, so you're going to see when we get to intermediate phase, I'm going to explain to you, this is Sasha, okay? This is Sasha that's happening here, but I'm going to explain to you in more detail. But remember, it's not just going to happen at the 50%, hey? It's not just going to happen at the 50%. You need to see the right things happening at the 50%. Okay, so you need to see the changes of character. You need to see then the pullback. You need to then see the opportunity to enter and then potentially take your trade, because it's not always going to happen at the 50%. And you must always make sure that you're looking at your swing, okay? Because the market can come to this fractal high and it can start to fail it. So you see, this was exactly what was inducement, okay? People were getting involved in sells over here. People were getting involved in sells over here, and the market was inducing early sellers and then liquidated them. Okay. Market induced more early sellers, liquidated them. Okay. So all you've got to remember is, as much as you're looking at the 50%, that is 100% correct. You're looking 50% and above. It can be anywhere in this zone that market turns around. So remember how we refine it. We wait for the market to then start taking out lows, okay? And this is why, as much as this was a change of character on a smaller time frame, such as the 5 minute, can you see why this might not hold? Can you see why? Okay, why would this maybe not hold and end up taking us out? Because this
discount on the higher time frame, 15 minutes.
Yes, but also this was our fractal structure. Okay. So can we all agree that at this point, before the market took out this high, this was the lowest the market went before creating the new high. So can you see how your swing structure just of the 15-minute range has been respected? So this is where the inducement can take place. Now everybody's thinking, cool, we're looking for sells. And there's Ali telling you guys, be careful of sells. And I'm telling you why, because they want to induce you into getting involved and then liquidate you. Okay.
So, Ellie,
So do you see how this is the fake chalk? Okay. Yes. Sorry. Someone had a question there.
I just wanted to get some clarity. That swing low.
Sure.
Yeah. Let's
Yes.
say that one was now broken. Then you would now maybe.
Then
opt
it's a
for sell.
true change of character. Yes. 100%.
Okay.
Okay. If the swing gets taken out, it's a true change of character. That's why still on NASDAQ, on the 4-hour, on the daily time frame, we are still bullish. We are not bearish. Do you understand why? Because this is still our swing structure. And that is why the market can push up from this level. It still hasn't taken out this low. Okay. And as much as it definitely can pull back and it can take out that low, I'm not saying that that can't happen. I'm just trying to show you guys we in discount right now of this trading range.
Sorry, Ali.
Yes.
Would you say that equal highs there on top, yeah, around where you are? Those.
Yes, over here. It's definitely liquidity.
So
And
do you
there's-
mean, so is
Yeah.
that a sign now to go and take that liquidity out?
No, remember, liquidity is determined purely on what the structure is telling you first. So the first sign that liquidity, they are coming for the liquidity, okay, is that the high now gets taken out. Okay, once the high gets taken out, now we know that we can anticipate the market pulling back and coming to grab the liquidity, pulling back and coming to grab the liquidity. Okay, if it needs more liquidity, it
Then
might
for-
even, it might just even liquidate that high and then end up still taking out the low. Okay, maybe it just needs a little bit more liquidity that's laying above this high
Oh,
in order to take out the low.
I
But
see.
structure tells us what it's going to do. Okay, so you can see like on a fractal scale, we were looking at 1 minute, 5-minute time frame, right? Let me just move that out the way. So we were looking at a 5-minute time frame. Okay, now a lot of people are going to look to sell at this zone. Okay, so let's see what's going to happen around the zone, whether the market is going to respect that high and take out the low, which we said it can. Why? Because the structural high over here has still not been taken out. So we don't have a change of character yet. Okay. However, the fact that we are in discount of the daily swing low, the 4-hour swing low, it holds very much significance. And that is why potentially the market can induce sellers into the market over here and then take you guys out. Okay, just as for buyers, if you have to look, I'll give you an example for a buy as well. Let's look over here. So exactly this, right? If the market was just at this point, a lot of people were going to say, right, well, this was our change of character. Okay, which it was on a fractal level. But look what happened, guys. Where did the market come?
To discount.
Discount. And then all of a sudden, everyone's saying, okay, cool, we're going to sell when the market comes here. So what does the market do? Okay, let me go to a smaller time frame just so you can see.
So, Ali,
okay, look how it induces the sellers. Sellers are in. Okay. Let's make this a bit more slower. Sellers are in. Sellers are in. And then sellers get taken out. You guys with me?
Yes.
Okay. Any
So it
questions?
wasn't counter trend. Trading
No.
against the grain is dangerous.
Yes. Don't
Oh,
do it. Don't do it. Look at what US30 just did, guys. Look at what US30 just did. Let me go to US30. Look, who was going to sell the market now? Who was going to sell the market up here at this high? Be honest. Who's going to sell the market?
I actually have a trade going on a buy now at the moment with that. So
Nice. Well done.
it's on $300, so I'm cashing out.
Nice. Nice. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, so you can all see what I was trying to explain to you guys earlier today. Don't get me wrong. Remember, Sean, just be aware that we can still fail this 5-minute high. Okay, it's still possible that we can fail this high. So now you just monitor the structure. However, I think it is very unlikely that it will fail that high. It's most probably going to take out this high now. And then we will have a new 5-minute range. And that means on the 5-minute structure, we will finally then, once we take out this level, we will have our chalk. So if we take out that level on the 5-minute fractal range, then we've got a confirmation that the market came into discount of the swing, gave us a change of character on the 1 minute. If it takes out this high, it will give us a change of character on, okay, this wasn't a 5-minute, this will still be our 5-minute high, okay? It will be our 1 minute swing range, okay? So now we'll have a chalk on the 1 minute swing range, which is a good sign, okay? If the swing gets taken out. And if that swing gets taken out, then the next structure that you're going to monitor is obviously this high up top here, okay? So if the market then pushes up, as a pullback, pushes back to this level, we understand it can still fail at this zone, but most likely what it will do, induce sellers and then take them out because of what I've explained to you guys on the 15-minute time frame. Everybody with me, guys?
Ali?
Yes. Okay.
If you go down to your 1 minute quickly.
To my 1 minute, sure.
Yeah. So you see where you say clock on the 1 minute swing structure?
Yes.
So
that's
the highest point that your market went before taking out the previous lows. So
correct.
That's the swing high then.
Yes, so on the 1 minute, okay, so on the 1 minute, this was the highest point that the market went before taking out this low in order to create this new low. So that was my swing range, okay? And then the market pulled back and then it took out this low. So this was the highest that the market went before taking out that previous low. So that's why this becomes my 1 minute swing range.
Okay, so that red circle closer to the middle of the chart is not actually your swing high.
This over here.
Yeah.
No. That's just where I said most likely they're going to induce sellers earlier.
Okay, I think I got lost over there. Thanks so much.
Sure, no problem. No problem. Okay,
So,
cool. So I hope, yes, sure. Go for it.
So would you say where the market turned on the smaller yana round there? Would you up there? Yeah. Would you say it's a point of supply? Because
yes.
I see from the previous point there it was a demand before and then it broke
correct.
through, went down, and then it became. But on the something like and 100%. Then there's a leg from your change of character there that went
previous
up.
Side. Yep.
So you see from change of character there, when you take your fib from the lowest point to the highest significant, you get your 50%. Yeah, you get your discount. But for you to get the discount, they've been taking out some liquidity before and then into discount and then went up.
Yes, but you see, why are they doing that? Because they're coming to liquidate the fractal structure. So you know how I always say to you guys, don't play the cat and mouse game, okay? The cat and mouse game is the fractal structure. If you understand where your swing structure is and you're just patient enough to wait for your swing structure, then you guys are going to be on top form. Okay, you just need to be patient, because a lot of students, they just want to jump on smaller time frames. They want to jump in here, jump in there, and it's a lot of it is just psychology. A lot of it is they're still learning. I do understand that, but that's why my advice is always stick to your swing structure. If you always understand where your swing structure is, then you most likely will not be a part of the cat and mouse game. In other words, the generation of getting involved, like people would be buying here and then get liquidated. You're not going to be a part of that. So yeah, but you can see what I'm speaking about, guys. Everybody clear with me? Everybody understand liquidity? Everybody understand the difference between supply and demand? We understand how to spot liquidity. Do you see this was a liquidity wick? Okay, this right here was a liquidity wick. Okay, the market came, it liquidated these equal lows and then pushed up. But what did the market fail?
The high.
Failed to take out the structural high. So structure tells us that this liquidity wick is going to get filled. And that's why the market comes down.
Ali?
You with me, guys? Yes.
Sorry, guys. You might be thinking I'm taking you back because I joined the session a bit late. So I just wanted the clear definition of supply and demand zone.
Okay, so a supply zone, for example, this is a supply zone. Okay. Supply zone, think about it like it's a product. Okay. If there is an oversupply, okay, let's say you have 100 pairs of shoes that you've designed, and you've got this nice design that you like, but not everybody else likes it. So now all of a sudden you have an oversupply of product. Okay, now what does that mean? If you have too much of something, you have to do what? You have to put it on sale, right?
Yes.
So
yeah.
you have to sell it for cheaper. Naturally, price will drop. Okay, so a supply zone is where distribution of orders happen, okay, in order to decline, which means price naturally will drop. Okay, that's what's happening at a supply zone. Okay, whereas a demand at this point, let me just admit this person, sorry. At this point, where price here was previous supply, okay, this was previous supply, okay, the market still dropped, the market still dropped, the market still dropped. Then all of a sudden, the market pushed up and took out that supply zone. So notice how the market now uses it as demand. So what does that mean? It means at this level, there is enough buyers in control, because all of a sudden you've maybe at this point you've created a product and you're still selling off your product for a cheaper price. Now all of a sudden you come up with an idea and everybody likes your design of your sneakers, and then price naturally pushes up, okay, because you've got the demand of the people. So if you've got the demand, you can set the price, right? Okay, if we wanted to, we could sell the mentorship for 10,000 Rand. Why? Because we've got the demand, because the people know that what we're teaching them works. Okay, if you've got the demand for a product, you can sell it for whatever you want to sell it for. It's the same how the market works. Okay, so a demand is where the basically you've got accumulation of orders in order to advance. And that's why price pushes up.
Sorry, Ali.
Yes.
So to withdraw demand and supply zones as well as in the smaller time frame as well?
Not necessarily. I'm just showing it to you because we're monitoring this right now, but you can, just to understand what's happening. But remember, the higher time frame is where it all needs to start, because the reason this is playing out on the smaller time frame is because of what happened on the higher time frame. Okay. So if we go back to, for example, our 1 hour, I know it looks like a mess now. Let me just check if I saved that quickly.
Ali,
Yes,
can I quickly ask a question about the change of character then?
sure.
So if price doesn't come back down to discount for that change of character, would it ever come back down in the future?
Yes, you can see what happened here. So a lot of people are trying to get involved on buys here because they think they've missed the move, but you've just got to then monitor your swing range.
So you just pull the
Up
channel
higher.
a bit higher. Okay, thank you.
Exactly. So if at this point the market still didn't give you the dip, you would just keep adjusting, and eventually you'll see the market needs liquidity. Where's it going to come? Discount. Okay. Sorry. So I wanted to show you what happened on the 1 hour. Okay. So you can
Sorry, Ali. Can I
Yes?
just jump in there?
Yeah.
I think the way you explain it to me is it's like general, because I wanted to understand it, the clear definition of supply and demand zone in terms of market wise. Because I understand the example that you gave, but then I want the clear definition of what is a supply in a demand zone, like market wise. It's when the market did what exactly?
It's when the market drops. Okay, so a supply zone is when the market has enough sell orders in order to push price down. Okay, it's when the market declines. So it creates a supply zone. And at that zone, it distributes its orders. Okay, so you can see it doesn't just do one sell. Look, it does multiple. It sells there. It sells here. It sells a multiple of times. So it's distributing many orders in order to decline. So if the supply is strong enough at the zone, we'll use the supply again. Okay, and that's why I said we've got to monitor this. It's our 1 minute swing structure. It can still fail at the structure because if there's more supply than demand, the market will drop. Okay.
So does it need to break structure or doesn't?
Only if it does. Only if it takes out the structure will we then consider the market maybe using it as demand.
Demand, okay. So can I ask, but the previous orange circle, is that the inducement to the supply zone? Can it be?
That's your inducement, yes, very much so. Because you can see how the market then came and took out that high. Okay. Cool. Sorry, I just wanted to show somebody asked something with regards to marking it out on the smaller time frame. You don't just mark it out on the smaller time frame. You need to know what's happening on your higher time frame. So can you see here at this point? Okay, we had demand that pushed price up, and we had supply that pushed price down, and then market came back to the same zone. So that is why the market is pushing right now.
Thank you.
Can you show us how do you mark supply and demand zone when you don't have like a large area, you just have like example like this?
You just got to work with your range. So if this is your trading range, say for example, if this is your trading range, okay, let me just, yeah, okay, so if that's your low and this is your high, okay, you've got demand, which is usually the very last down candle before the push to the upside, okay, and you will have the last up candle that will be used as supply. However, there's going to be extreme supply and demand, and there's going to be internal supply and demand. So as you can see, there's also demand and supply internal of the structure, and what you can use to correlate it with is previous structure, okay? So you can see that at this point where the market started dropping, okay, the market started to use this point to push price up again. Okay, and if we extend it a little bit more, you can see we've got demand, we've got supply, we've got demand, we've got demand. Look how the market doesn't use that specific level because it needs a little bit more liquidity. So look how it comes to a previous zone of supply and demand to push the market up. But then the market comes and it uses that zone as supply and this zone to continue and this zone to continue. You with me?
Ali?
You guys with me? Yes.
Can a demand or supply zone act as a resistance at some point, or
Well,
as a support at some point?
Yes, in essence, it's similar to support and resistance, but it's not a line. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a zone. Need to understand